So what we're going to be doing for this little tasting session is essentially looking at a framework which is a 2D platform. Now, it's entirely web-based, and to get to it, if you go on the Digital Academy portal, you can see programming offer holiday at the bottom. And then inside of this, we have this lovely little system. Now, this is written completely in, I think it was HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It uses, what's the other thing about
Wizardry.
all
We do
is,
witchcraft.
web-based application. Electron. And it uses some form of Electron to make it look all pretty afterwards. But if you go into this, it's going to give you a bunch of text, tell you about some instructions. We're going to skip all that for a second. But essentially, you're going to be creating this and start them. Now, it's a very stripped down version of what code actually goes in to make this game. But it gives you an entry and a starting point to start figuring out how things work inside of the system. So capturing things like input, spawning objects and projections, and also editing stuff over a map. So if you load this up and have a look inside of it, you can start by playing this game. It's a simple platform which you can jump around, and I believe you can shoot at some point, but I can't remember what the controls for it. I think it's added later on.
To get to this, if you go to open Chrome, Digital Academy portal should be the first web page that opens up. It should be at the bottom. Programming LHD.
Yeah, there you go. So if you can load this up for me in a minute and start essentially going through it, it's quite a self-study kind of task, so it doesn't involve me talking and trying to do too much. Instead, I want everyone to kind of have a go and start going through this and building up this game in multiple stages. So you start out with nothing working. We have our editor, code editor on the left, and we have our preview on the right. And essentially, as we go through, we're going to build up this game little by little and add all the functionality to it. So the first thing, for example, we create the game window, and it highlights these nice little areas for you so you can paste it in, give it a save, and then we have our game. So start having a look and going through this, and then if you want more of a hands-on experience, I can show you a C++ framework as well afterwards. So have a go, we're just going to be walking around and helping you if you have any issues. If you're trying to do something and not too sure how to do it, just stick your hand up again and I'll be around to give you a hand. Have some fun.
Has anyone had any trouble booting the thing up?
And in order to do that, if you go through each page, you just tick it being complete, I think it's a little tick. And if you go through this all the way to the end, there we go, it tells you if you want to start finishing up. And if you finish up, you can download this complete game as a zip and then expand it in your own time. This is also a publicly available link, so if you want to just, that's not correct. If we go to the editor, there we go. So if you just copy this down, you'll be able to access it from anywhere. So again, you can do this later on if you want to. If this was maybe a little bit simple for you, or you want to have a look at more of a C++ solution for a project, go into the nitty-gritty, then we have our old one publicly available on our GitHub too. So if you go to University of Staffordshire GitHub, being lazy, and then GitHub. So we see University of Staffordshire Games, and then what you can do is download this S2D platformer and have a look through this amazing project. It's quite intense at first if you look at it, especially compared to what you've just been going through, but it is a full C++ solution for a little platforming game, which can be easily customized and messed around a little bit. So if we have a look at this, we'll extract it on this PC. And then I'm just going to whack it on the desktop because I don't believe I can run it through downloads on this PC. So again, we're not going to have time for this today, but again, if you do want to have a mess around with this, it's publicly available on our GitHub page, so you can have a look. So if we open up the I panicked and I thought Visual Studio was installed on the machine. So there is an SLN, which is essentially an EXE for any kind of solution in Visual Studio. And inside of this, we have a nice C++ project. And it loads. I'm going to skip signing in. Let's just go in dark mode because I like my retinas. If we look in the background of it though, it's a little bit more scary than what we just saw. So all of these class files make up the game. And if we have a flick through, we can see there's a lot of code going in, doing a whole lot of different things. From loading all the textures and graphics, to creating animation based on all the sprites, iterating it through and doing cool stuff. But also things just like loading in an image, setting it as a texture, setting it to be the background, and then little things like that. Where every frame of the game, we're checking for some form of input, we're checking for values, we're seeing if we hit anything. There's a lot of good techniques inside of this. But yeah, it is quite intense when you look at some of these scripts. Or classes, I should say, not scripts. But this is available on our GitHub again if you want to have a look, and feel free to also just copy down that URL from the platform again. Let's have a little bit of a play around. I know I'm in a room with a lot of artists, so I'm not expecting anyone to be super into C++ or programming in general, but it's a great thing to have a look, and also just check out all the courses and modules we offer as well. So thank you very much. I'm Luke, and I'm going to hand you off now, and I think it's your time to go home.
Thanks, great stuff.